Hey, and welcome to my channel. My name is Preston. Having worked many years as a professional recruiter, I've acquired unique insights and experiences that I hope can now be helpful to you all. In this video, we're going to talk about virtual interviews and what you should wear for your next Zoom interview. Before we get started, please don't forget to click the like and subscribe button as it's completely free and it really helps us kickstart the channel. Last year, the pandemic flipped work life upside down and changed everything from how people commute into the office, how they communicate with different teams, how they conduct their work in general, to even how people interview for jobs. Pre-pandemic interviews were all about inviting the candidates into the office to meet them in person and to introduce them to other members of the team. While there were virtual interviews, they were really only used for prospective candidates who lived in a different time zone or those that really had a legitimate reason why they couldn't travel to the office. Now it's a completely different ballgame, with people working remotely and with legitimate concerns about social distancing, travel, quarantine, lockdowns. Companies had no choice but to shift and adapt their hiring and interviewing process to fully embrace virtual interviews. 1 year later, it seems like most employers and employees have made the change without too much of a problem. Before we talk about what you should wear for a virtual interview, I just want to clarify what I mean when I say virtual interview. I'm referring to an interview that is typically conducted through a video conferencing platform. While there are many companies to choose from like Skype, Microsoft Teams, GoToMeeting, and the most common by far is Zoom. Founded in 2011, the company particularly did really well, and in 2020 when the pandemic was at its peak, its revenue soared 369% to $882.5 million, up from $188.3 million a year ago, and ended with an adjusted profit of nearly $1 billion for that year. If the company you're interviewing at uses Zoom for a virtual interview, as a candidate, you can expect to typically receive a link or access information with directions on how you would access the virtual call with the interviewer. Other features that Zoom allows in the calls are text-based chats, screen sharing, and even video recording. If this is your first virtual interview, don't fret or worry. While it may be a bit weird in the beginning and a little difficult to have small chat and even rely on your in-person presence and overall personality to help with your first impression, I would recommend you relax, take a deep breath, and treat this like you would any other interview you've done in the past. While most of us are enjoying working from home and making the most of casual and loungewear and think you can get away wearing sweats or shorts on a virtual interview, I would recommend you make an effort here, as you only have a small amount of time to make a good first impression, and you really don't want your outfit to sabotage yourself. Not only that, but studies also show that wearing a full professional attire can impact you on a personal level and help you feel more confident, so make sure you put on those pants. It might not make the most sense to wear a full suit depending on the industry, but the main point is to put on a great outfit that would help you come off professional, polished, and confident, and complement your great work experience, skills, and personality. After all, it is well known that a lasting first impression is created in little under 30 seconds, so might as well put your best foot forward. Okay, so while I did say earlier to treat this like any other interview you did before, I also admit that while most of the rules on how you should dress for an in-person interview would still apply here, things are different, most notably on how you would communicate with your interviewer and how you would be visually judged by only what the interview sees. So without further ado, here are some of my recommendations on what to wear for a Zoom or virtual interview. Before we continue, I do want to state that since all of my background is mainly in the technology industry, some of the advice may not be relevant to your specific industry. So if that's the case, please treat my recommendations as more of a general rule of thumb rather than a strict rule. Research the company's dress code. Getting familiar with the company dress code will definitely help you prepare for the interview, just like it'll be weird and inappropriate to wear a casual outfit at a bank interview. It'll also be equally weird to wear a full suit to a tech startup interview. Dig around their website, social media, news articles, and blogs to get additional insight about the company. If you know the industry, also check out regular meetups, events, and online forums where you can read up on what others have done. If all else fails, you can always reach out to the company's recruiter and ask. If you have a video interview confirmed, that means the company's already interested in chatting with you. So if you searched far and wide and have no idea what to wear, I'm sure they won't mind you asking. If anything, they'll come across as you caring enough and detail-oriented. Always play it safe and opt for neutral and more conservative outfits. Even if the company has a 100% casual dress code, I would opt for a business casual just to be safe. My rule of thumb is whatever is the dress code, go 1 or 2 notches more conservative just to play it safe, as the last thing you want to do is to come off over or underdressed. For more tech companies, a nice button-down or polo shirt paired with a nice pair of slacks or khakis is great. Ditch the sneakers and flip-flops at home and choose a nice pair of dress shoes or casual dress shoes like loafers. If it's cold or if you want to spice it up, feel free to put on a nice sweater or a blazer on top. Anything else beyond that, you'd be risking overdoing it, so tread carefully. I do want to note that how you dress can also change based on the seniority of your position. If you are a senior manager, director, or a VP, wearing a sharp sweater or a blazer could be appropriate. If you're applying for an entry-level or mid-level position at a tech company, a nice fitting blazer could work well if you want, but it's not 100% necessary if you have a clean top and a nice pair of slacks. Dress head to toe. I know, it's super tempting to just dress your top half and leave the bottom half in plush and soft athletic or loungewear or downright sweats. But I must urge you to make the effort and dress up the whole body. Studies do show that your outfit will influence your mood, productivity, confidence, posture, and even abstract thinking. Doesn't matter if you believe me or not, but if interviewing and getting a new job is hard enough on its own, and if this could help, why wouldn't you do it? An interview is a serious experience, so another way to look at it is to add dressing up as part of the experience. Of course, don't go overboard and put on a top hat, monocle, and a cape, but by going with the motion will help you get in the right mindset. An interview is usually only an hour or a couple of hours max, so suck it up, dress up, and get in the zone. Avoid bright, patterned, and dark colors. What you wear should look presentable and clean and not make a statement in the wrong way. Avoid super bright colors or busy patterns, as that could just end up distracting the interviewer. As webcam or computer cameras are not the best, try to avoid white, bright, and neon red or orange to minimize exposure or color bleeding issues, and if the pattern on your shirt is too intense or bold, the video can possibly distort it even more, so make sure you tone it down. If you're opting for a pattern, go for a subtle one. Same thing also goes for super dark clothing like black, for instance. Because the appearance of creases or folds on black clothing is hard for the camera to pick up, your shirt, sweater, or top might just look like a shapeless mass. Stick with muted and neutral colors with minimal patterns. Gray, brown, blue, and any other neutral tone can work just fine. Easy on the accessories. While I'm all about embracing your personal style, make sure you just don't overdo it with your accessories as well. Keep your rings, bracelets, and necklaces minimal or hidden, as they could be pretty distracting and loud as they can jingle against each other. As unfair as it is to say this, if you have any visible piercings or tattoos, no matter how great they are, I would still recommend you cover it if possible, as I would hate for you to get judged negatively based on it. Pocket squares and scarves may be fine for other industries, but for tech, you'd be coming off as a bit too formal and overdressing. Finally, do not wear any hats or outerwear jackets on, and leave the headphones and any other electronics accessories off. Extra grooming. As a last point, I want to share a couple more points that could help you ace your virtual interview. Most of them are obvious, but I would rather go over some of them again to really make sure you don't leave any stones unturned. While the outfit is important, make sure you are on top of your grooming game as well. Make sure you wash up, style your hair and facial hair, and do anything else to leave a positive impression and maintain overall good grooming standards. Clean background. I know it's obvious, but make sure nothing's in your background to distract the interviewer. Make sure you shoot in front of a white or muted color wall. Couple paintings, plants, or photographs are fine, but get rid of anything that would be inappropriate or even compromising. Avoid busy patterned walls or shooting in front of a busy shelf or cabinet. Make sure you're also in a quiet area or a room where you can close the door. Great lighting. Make sure you also have great lighting so that the interviewer can clearly see you. Too much light and your face will be too exposed, and too little light and you'll come off super grainy and dark. Adjust either the lighting inside the room, or think also about positioning yourself near a window to take advantage of the outside light. If the outside light is too strong, think about closing a drape or a curtain to dampen it. Aside from the sound levels, visual quality through a camera is everything, so make sure you double check your light. Check your Wi-Fi. Make sure you double check your Wi-Fi so that you can connect and have great quality throughout the call. If the Wi-Fi slows down, the video feed will have a problem buffering and could freeze or even disconnect. So make sure you double check everything. Check your camera framing. Lastly, make sure you go over your framing for the camera. You want your head and most of your top half visible. Adjust your company so that you aren't too close or too far from the camera, and that your head or part of your head isn't cut out. Try playing around with different seating positions as well, and make sure you're in the frame. Also, make sure you sit straight and don't slouch or lean too far back to give the hiring manager the wrong impression that you aren't taking it seriously. Make sure you do a test run or two and go over all of these points so that you can have a flawless video interview. I hope this this video help prepare you for your next video interview. Just remember to follow these guidelines, take a deep breath, and relax. While it's weird to interview virtual, might as well get used to it because this isn't going anywhere. Make the effort and put on a nice full outfit so that you can feel and look your best. Don't take shortcuts or take too big of a risk with bright colors and bold patterns and accessories. Most importantly, don't forget to smile and have fun. If you have any other additional questions or want to share which of these steps really helped you out, please comment below as we would love to hear from you. As always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell. It's completely free and really helps us kickstart this channel. If you also want to follow me, feel free to add me at Preston_Park on Instagram as I try my best to post daily. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.